Welcome to Stories for Sleep, where science becomes a gentle breeze and psychology turns into a lullaby for a tired mind. Tonight, as the world outside begins to quiet down and the thoughts inside you still whisper and refuse to sleep, we will step together into the special land of dreamy science, where the tender truths about the mind will caress you like water flowing over stone, helping the soul relax, loosen up, and find its original peace again. Because sometimes, what keeps us awake is not noise, but the emotions we have not put down. And psychology has small, miraculous things. Touching them alone can slow the heartbeat, ease the mood, and open a gentle door back to sleep. Tonight, you will discover secrets as light as breath, why the mind loves repetition, why memory soothes pain, and why the body always knows how to heal itself in silence. Lead on, relax your shoulders, and let me lead you on a journey through psychological truths, gentle enough to lull you into deep sleep. Night is the time when the outside world steps back softly, as if the whole planet put a finger to its lips and whispered, "Be still." And in that slowed space, another door opens, a door that leads inward to you. By day, the mind is like a bustling room, blinding light, conversations, plans, an invisible race, with responsibilities, with expectations, with the very self-image you feel you must keep right. But when night falls, those shells fall away. No noise, no drama, just as light as a thin shirt being slipped off the shoulder, and the person becomes truer. There is an interesting psychological phenomenon. As light as a breath you don't notice. People are more honest at night, not because we intend to be, not because we want to expose ourselves, but because at night, the mind is tired of performing. All day you have to be a little strong, be a little cheerful, be neat, polite, proper, do the right thing, say the right thing, stay silent at the right times. But when darkness pours in, the muscles soften, the heart rate slows, the brain's social control regions reduce activity. A space forms, soft, authentic, primordial, a space you rarely touch during the day. That is when the mind speaks its true voice. Unedited, not a draft for someone to see, just real. Some people cannot cry all day, but in a dark room, the tears fall like a night rain. Some cannot speak honestly for months, but sitting by a window looking at the night sky, they whisper the truest sentences of their life. Night does not make us weak. Night allows us to be real. In the dark, no one is watching you. No one judges. No one demands you be stronger, better, more perfect. Night allows you to return to your purest version, a version psychology names so beautifully, self without audience. That is you when you are, not pretending to be okay, not straining for anyone's sake, not stronger than you feel, not happier than you are, not wearing a mask to avoid being hurt. You only need to be you, and that in itself is healing. The mind is like a body of water. When there is no wind, it returns to its natural flatness. In the silence of night, you return to the true shape of your soul. Simple, gentle, unstretched. Many people complain, "Why do I think so much at night?" But the truth is, the mind doesn't think more, it thinks clearer. By day, busyness hides the deepest things. But when night comes, when other sounds fade away, only the heartbeat, the breath, and the spaces between breaths remain. What you once hid inside begins to gently surface, not to hurt you, but to be seen, because every unacknowledged memory becomes a lost child on a cold night, wanting to come home. Psychology calls this nocturnal honesty, the honesty of night. When there is no one to perform for, we begin to talk to ourselves, and that is when real healing begins. When night comes, the sympathetic nervous system, the stress response, winds down, and the parasympathetic system, the recovery mode, turns on. That is when the body repairs, cells regenerate, memories get reorganized, the day's unprocessed emotions are soothed. You become more honest, not because you are weak, but because the mind knows this is the safest time to let go. The body learned this over millions of years of evolution. Daytime for survival, nighttime for healing. So when you start speaking truthfully to yourself in the dark, it is not a mistake. It is ancient wisdom at work. Night is the hammock that holds the mind when it's tired. There are truths we only dare say in a dark room. I am hurting. I miss someone. I need rest. I am exhausted. I want to be loved. Night doesn't ask you to say those things to the world, only to yourself. And the miracle is, every healing starts with one honest sentence to yourself. By day, we avoid. By night, we face. But we face with gentleness, not throwing ourselves into panic. Night is like a friend sitting beside you, not asking much, not giving advice, only listening. Sometimes, you don't need advice. You only need a dark space and a breath to tell the truth. Have you noticed? On the nights you are honest with yourself, even just a little, you sleep easier, not by chance. That is science. When you drop the daytime shell and admit your real feelings, the brain reduces activity in the social control areas, prefrontal cortex, and increases activity in the healing regions, default mode network. The body understands you are no longer fighting. The mind understands it no longer needs to stay on guard. And when the mind stops defending itself, sleep arrives like a friend, placing a hand on your forehead and whispering, "All right, rest." No sleep is deeper than the sleep that follows truth. Psychology may be dry in textbooks, but at night, every concept becomes as soft as water. The limbic brain becomes less alert, cortisol falls, heart rate slows, consciousness recedes, the gentle, unconscious rises. The mind opens like a half-ajar door, and then psychological truths become lullabies. You don't need to analyze. You don't need to memorize. You don't need to understand. Just feel. Not with the brain, with the heart. Softness is also a form of strength. Asterisk. By day, we believe strength lies in hardness, in endurance, in not crying, in being okay. But night shows us another kind of strength. The strength of acknowledging, the strength of letting go, the strength of vulnerability, the strength of knowing what you feel. Night does not make you weak. Night makes you real. And truth, at least in psychology, is always where all healing begins. Night gives us the courage to be real. Night holds the door. We are the ones who step through. Night does not force us to be honest. Night only lays a hand on our shoulder and gently says, "It's okay. No one is watching. You can breathe now." And the mind, after a long day, fighting invisible pressures, finally dares to shed its protective shell, return to its true shape, gentle and fragile like the morning's first breath. That is when healing begins. That is when sleep comes. That is when the mind returns home. We stand at the threshold of darkness, where the mind becomes honest, where the social shell falls like the last dry leaf of the season. But right after that moment, there is another, quiet, important truth waiting for us to notice. It is not that your mind becomes weaker. It is that during the day, you are pulled in 1,000 directions, and in that dispersion, memory has nowhere to anchor. Night gives us truth, but it also gives us another thing, the capacity to remember. Only when you stop running, stop fragmenting yourself into too many pieces, can the brain hold something and keep it like a candle in the wind. We are proud to multitask, replying to messages while working, listening to the news while eating, reading emails while checking the calendar, scrolling a phone while planning tomorrow. But psychology has a gentle, sad truth. The brain never truly multitasks. It only switches extremely fast between tasks, like a flashlight sweeping objects in the dark, never lighting one long enough to see its shape clearly. Each time you switch from one thing to another, the brain must shut down the whole context, then turn on a new one. That switch, even a millisecond, takes energy, and more importantly, it takes away the ability to form deep memories. Multitasking is like a thin breeze, never strong enough to draw your full attention, but enough to blow out each tender sprout of memory before it roots. When you look at a flower, you cannot remember it if your gaze only skims for half a second and then moves on. Memory is the result of staying with a thought, an image, a sentence, an emotion. The brain needs about 7-10 continuous seconds to record something into long-term memory. But multitasking won't give us 5 silent seconds. Like trying to write on a rippling surface of water, nothing lasts long enough to be read twice. Memory is not automatic. Memory is a gift given when we stop long enough to receive it. The sad thing is not that we cannot remember, it's that we do not give ourselves the chance to remember. The brain can store an almost infinite amount of memory, but it needs hooks moments with weight. If you continuously multitask, every experience becomes as light as dust, nothing heavy enough for the mind to hang on to. At the end of the day, we find ourselves saying, "I don't know what I ate this morning. I don't know what I said today. I don't know if I was really present in that conversation." We live as if not living. Experience slips by like a glance. Seeing without seeing, hearing without hearing, meeting without touching. That is the price of multitasking. We think we do more, but in reality, we are less present. There is a beautiful thing in psychology. The brain finds ways to heal as soon as we stop forcing it to run. When night falls, when tasks, notifications, choices, emails, conversations, layer by layer close like windows turning off, the mind begins to gather the day's fragments. This is called memory consolidation. That is, the brain will organize memories, gather them into a story, discard the excess, keep what matters, and turn chaos into structure. The miracle is that process only happens when you are not multitasking. And the only moment in the day when you are not multitasking is when you drift into sleep. Night is the home of memory, where chaos becomes order, where scattered pieces assemble into a picture. Slow is not weak. Slow is deep. Slow is the wisdom of the brain. When you stop just a little, enough to feel the breath in and out, the brain immediately shifts to a state of conscious attention. In that state, memories form, emotions are named, experiences become vivid, the mind becomes sharp, yet gentle. Multitasking is noise, focus is silence, and memory, like a sapling, only grows in the quiet. Have you experienced this? Lying in bed, lights out, nothing left to complete, nothing to answer. You suddenly recall an afternoon conversation, someone's look, A phrase that moved you, a moment you missed, a tiny detail that felt profoundly real. Memories don't arrive at night. Night gives memories the chance to surface. By day they are there, but hidden under layers of tasks and noise, like stars that always exist, but only appear when the sky is dark enough. Night doesn't create memory. Night only dims the lights so you can see them. There are two kinds of tiredness: tired from doing too much, and tired because the mind is split into many pieces. The second kind is more dangerous because it makes us think we are living more when we are actually living less. When you multitask, you never fully stay in a moment. No experience goes deep, no emotion lingers, no memory becomes truly yours. Focus is not forcing yourself to strain. Focus is returning to wholeness, being present, living deeply rather than hurriedly. One of the most famous studies about the mind shows the brain only senses happiness when the mind and body are together. When you eat and just eat, when you walk and just walk, when you listen and just listen, that is when dopamine and serotonin are released most steadily. But when you eat and scroll your phone, when you talk but think of something else, when you work and constantly check notifications, the brain does not register joy. Emotions are scattered. Memory cannot stick. Experience turns to fine sand slipping through fingers. Multitasking not only steals memory, it steals our joy. Before sleep, you do only one thing: breathe, just one thing. And that is when the nervous system calms down, heart rate slows, memories hook together, the brain feels safe, the whole system goes into rest and repair. Night is a gentle lesson the universe sends. To remember, stop, to go deep, slow down, to find peace, single task. When you stop spinning among 1,000 things, when you put the phone down, when you take a deep breath, when the mind returns to itself, a miracle occurs. You begin to remember yourself, to remember what you want, what you fear, what wounds you, what makes you feel alive, the dreams you forgot, parts of yourself left behind. Night not only helps us remember the world, night helps us remember ourselves. And when you lie down, close your eyes, breathe gently, allow the brain to stop scattering, and let everything return to a soft flow. You give the mind the opportunity to heal, because memory is not only recollection. Memory is the feeling of coming home, where the mind learns to return to focus, where breath, silence, and single tasking free the brain from the shards of multitasking. We realize a gentle truth of life. Healing does not only come from within. Sometimes it comes from someone lightly touching your hand, a touch that seems small but can soothe pain in a way words cannot. And psychology has a beautiful explanation. When two people touch with sincerity, their brains begin to synchronize, like two waves merging into a single thread of light. Imagine candles. When you place two candles close together, the wind not only makes them sway the same way, but sometimes the two flames even flicker in the same rhythm. The human brain is the same. When there is a gentle touch, a hand held, a palm on a shoulder, a silent embrace, the brain begins to synchronize electrical waves with the other person. This phenomenon is called interpersonal neural synchrony, neural resonance between two people. That is when the body understands. You are not alone, and by that feeling of not being alone, part of the pain dissolves. Long before we could speak, before we understood the world, the body already understood touch. In the mother's womb, the fetus learns heartbeat, the warmth of skin, and the safety of contact. Touch is not a social behavior. Touch is the first language life knows. That is why a sincere touch can reduce pain by 20–40%, even when no words are spoken. It is not magic, not weakness, not dependence. It is the biology of connection. In the brain, pain is processed like noise. When we hurt, emotional and sensory regions ring loudly, hurried, aching. But when a hand holds yours, a gentle hook, or even just a palm placed on your back, that sound quiets. Why? Because the brain shares signals with the other person. Like two orchestras beginning to play the same piece, the volume evens out, and the pain no longer has to ring alone in the echo chamber of the mind. In medicine, this is called co-regulation, emotional co-regulation. But in everyday life, we only know a hug makes me breathe easier. Oxytocin is often called the love hormone, but in fact, it is a hormone of safety. When someone touches you gently, your heart slows down, your breathing deepens, blood pressure reduces, cortisol, the stress hormone, drops, the body enters a healing state. Hugging someone for 20 seconds is like a natural sedative dose. Holding a hand when you are scared reduces fear by almost half. A palm on the shoulder softens loneliness instantly. Oxytocin needs no words, no reason, no logic. It only needs a sincere touch. Remember the earlier chapter, when memory weakens because the mind is scattered, when worry, pressure, and multitasking make the brain unable to keep anything? A gentle touch is how the body gathers those scattered pieces, because with safe contact, the brain shifts from fight to connect mode. This mechanism helps. Painful memories become less sharp, good memory become deeper, the mind calms, the brain returns to its natural rhythm. That is why moments when we feel most hurt are also moments when a small touch can make us burst into tears. Not because we are weak, but because we are allowed to let go. A timely touch can come from anyone, a friend, a relative, a nurse, a lover, a child. What creates healing is not the romanticism of the act, but the presence behind it, a hand on your back, because someone truly sees the burden you carry. That is healing, a silent hug, when you no longer have the strength to be strong. That is healing, a hand holding yours. When you are trembling, that is healing. Touch is wordless speech, yet understood most clearly. A gentle touch does not take all the pain away. It only splits it in two. Half remains with you, for you to grow. Half is carried by the other, so you don't collapse. That is how life always works. Sharing, not carrying alone. Synchrony, not dissolution. And that is also why, on the loneliest nights, a light touch, a hand reaching out, a silent embrace, can make you feel as if you are settling onto a warm water surface. Because behind every touch, there is a gentle truth. When two minds meet, pain no longer has to cross the night alone. Often, changes in mood, behavior, or feeling come from things as thin as mist, small as a breath, subtle enough that we think we don't feel them. And one of those silent guides is scent, not loud, not speaking, but enough to touch the deepest parts of the mind before we can think or realize it. Of all the senses, only smell goes straight to the limbic system, the brain area that processes emotion, memory, and safety without the filter of reason. Meaning, a scent does not need your permission to create an emotion. It just arrives, like a door opening in the night without a sound. That's why the smell of baked bread can pull you back to your childhood kitchen. A perfume can make your heart tighten because it reminds you of someone. An essential oil can make your whole body unwind. A familiar scent can make your eyes sting for no clear reason. We don't control our emotions in front of scent. Scent controls our emotions in a very natural way and very human. The science of scent always has the air of a fairy tale because it is both precise and beautifully strange. Citrus scent makes people tidy rooms more. The smell of bread makes shoppers kinder and more generous. Lavender reduces heart rate and makes us decide more slowly, more calmly. Vanilla can reduce pain and feelings of loneliness. Even the smell of rain petrichor can make us feel peaceful for no clear reason. Some studies even show the scent used in a supermarket affects what we buy. Cool scents lead to choosing healthier foods. Warm scents lead to buying sweets, baked goods, nostalgic dishes. It's not that we are weak, not that we are easily led, but the brain was designed to trust scent before any other sense. From ancient times, scent signaled survival: food, water, safety, danger, territory, group. The olfactory system is older than civilization, and it has not forgotten its role. If touch synchronizes two brains, scent is how we synchronize with ourselves. Remember these moments. When you are tired, just step into a room scented with essential oils, and your chest loosens. When anxious, just smell hot tea, and your breath deepens. When sad, just light a vanilla candle, and your chest feels lighter, as if someone put a hand on your shoulder. Each scent is a memory smiling. A beat of memory passing through us like light skimming water. They do not erase pain. They only provide a backdrop for feeling, bringing the mind back to a state that is lighter, softer, more human. An interesting thing, when you inhale a pleasant scent, the brain understands there is no danger. And when safety is triggered, the brain automatically shifts into modes to care for the surrounding environment, refresh the living space, want to tidy up mess, want to create coziness. That's why sometimes we tidy not out of discipline, but because the room's scent makes us want to. Scent doesn't control behavior, but the emotion created by scent controls behavior. A subtle shift that seems natural. And indeed it is natural. An ancient inheritance. After all, a scent is only molecules drifting in the air, but to the mind, it is a secret door, leading to a chest of memories soft as a pillow, warm as candlelight. A wordless language, where each molecule is an invisible letter, forming poems the body understands, even if the mind cannot read them. And that silence is what makes scent one of the gentlest forms of healing. No analysis required. No effort required. No words required. Just inhale, exhale. Healing comes from noticing the subtle things around us. Light, wind, the sound of leaves, and very faint aromas in the air. Small things, but not small to the mind. And that is the beauty of scent. It heals without asking anything of us. Not asking us to be strong, to understand, to explain, or to find words. It just comes, touches the deepest brain regions, and whispers, "It's okay, breathe." And then the mind returns to its peaceful rhythm. Scent does not change our life, but it changes a moment's color, changes the quality of a breath, changes the mood of a minute. And sometimes, a gentle minute is enough to save a long, hard day. A world of tender illusions the mind weaves to protect itself. They are not deceit, not distortion, not weakness or error. They are the soft blankets the brain knits, so we can get through tired days, long nights, and the gaps that consciousness cannot yet fill. In those moments, illusion, the very thing we think betrays us, becomes salvation, a soft, instinctive healing, ancient as the first breath of humankind. And amid the narrator's gentle darkness, the guide leads us deeper to a place where truth and illusion no longer oppose each other, but stand side by side like two faces of the same protective embrace. One of the most beautiful illusions in psychology is the phenomenon called placebo sleep. It says, if you believe you slept well, the body will act as if you really did. Imagine, some nights you sleep only 4 or 5 hours, wake with a vague feeling that maybe I slept okay, and the whole day passes lightly. The mind is alert, the body not exhausted, mood not heavy, but there are nights you sleep the full 8 hours. Yet because you think, I slept terribly, your whole body feels like it's wearing stones. Every movement slows, every emotion dragged down. That is not illusion. That is biology. The brain does not distinguish strictly between what we believe and what we experience. It simply responds to the signals we send. When we believe we slept enough, the brain switches to recovery mode, reduces inflammation, improves focus, switches on repair mechanisms. Placebo sleep becomes real. Belief becomes medicine. Not because the body is fooled, but because the body is always ready to heal. As soon as we stop fighting it, that leads the narrator to a gentle truth. Illusions are not always the enemy of truth. Humans survive not by logic, but by pliability. The mind is not steel. It is soft as water, finding shapes that protect us from overload. So sometimes, we tell ourselves we're okay, so we can get through the day. We tell ourselves we can before we really can. We tell ourselves we're not alone, though the room is empty. We tell ourselves someone remembers us, though there's no proof. We tell ourselves we slept enough so the body can start healing. That is not deceit. It is the survival wisdom etched in each nerve across millions of years. The mind knows how to lull itself when the outer world is too loud. After placebo sleep, the narrator guides the listener to another strange but familiar phenomenon everyone has experienced. The feeling that someone is looking at you. Have you ever tried it? Standing in a crowd, you suddenly turn and find someone actually looking. No sound, no clue, no movement that announced it. This is not mystical, nor superstition. It is an ancient survival instinct we inherited from prehistoric ancestors, hundreds of thousands of years ago. Knowing when you were being watched meant surviving predators. Those who could sense a gaze avoided danger and passed that gene on. So, even today, when life is safer, our brain keeps that silent radar. It is not the eyes that sense, it is the body. Nerve fibers along the spine, tiny changes in heart rate, microsignals we are not conscious of, but the body reads. It is the mind telling us something is paying attention to you. A whisper, not to scare, but to protect. The mind sometimes creates illusions, but not in the negative way we usually think. It does so to help us react faster, help us make sense of the world, help us connect incomplete pieces of information, help us survive risk, help us avoid emotional overload. When you hear a sound in the night and think someone is coming, that is not paranoia. That is the brain connecting data to protect you. When you think someone is looking, that is not superstition. That is a legacy of millions of years of survival. When you believe you slept well and your body truly recovers, that is not self-deception. That is the self-healing mechanism. The mind sometimes weaves a gentler world so we can rest in the vastness of life. The beauty is this: illusion does not take over our life. It only lifts us when we are about to fall. It does not take us away from reality. It only makes reality more bearable, more tolerable. When you believe you slept enough, that is the mind saying, "My body needs repair. I will help you start." When you feel a gaze on your back, that is the mind saying, "I am watching. You are not alone." When memory fills the gaps, that is the mind saying, "I will piece your story together so you do not feel lost." The mind creates illusions, not because it is weak, but because it loves you. As the night deepens, as the background music thins to long, low notes, the narrator turns dry, psychological phenomena into images, soft as water. The mind is an artist. It not only records the world, it paints extra light so we can see the path. And so, an imagined sleep becomes real sleep. A vague feeling becomes a protective instinct. A small illusion becomes a medicine, colorless, odorless, formless, but powerful enough to change an entire waking day. Truth and illusion together perform the task of keeping us alive, keeping us resilient, keeping us human. Humans don't survive by truth alone. We survive thanks to the illusions the mind makes so we can continue. And in the soft dark of the approaching sleep, breath becomes as gentle as wind on a lake. We realize the mind is not against us as we once thought. It is always trying to help us live softer, lighter, steadier, even when it paints truth in extra color, even when it sews wings onto belief, even when it creates a small illusion so we can get through an unbearably heavy day. And tonight, under the moon of dreamy science, the narrator whispers, "Not everything soft is an illusion. Sometimes those very illusions are the dwelling place of the gentlest truths, where feelings color reality and memory awakens at the touch of a melody." Just one touch, one breath, one small pause before leading us into the next chapter, where emotions become painters and memory is awakened from doors we never expected. It is not the world that changes. We change the world when joyful, when sorrowful, when loving or losing. Each emotion is a layer of light over perception, turning life into a map of our inner world. And on this journey, the narrator invites us to slow down, sit beside our breath, to discover a gentle truth. The mind does not only look, it feels before it sees, and everything we see is tinted by the heart. There is something very beautiful in psychology. When we are happy, not only does the face relax, the heart beats more evenly, but the whole world becomes wider. Science calls this attentional broadening. Joy expands the brain's attention, allowing us to see more, notice many small details, and connect things more easily. In other words, joy opens the world. We suddenly notice the sky is bluer, leaves brighter under the sun, birds' songs, not just sounds, but messages, and strangers more approachable. This is not illusion. It is biology. When we are happy, the brain releases dopamine and serotonin, two chemicals that increase activity in the prefrontal cortex, the region responsible for curiosity, creativity, learning, and connection. We become more generous, more patient, more fond of life. The world does not change color. We change the color of the world. Joy is light, and light follows us everywhere. If happiness expands the world, anxiety does the opposite. When we worry, the mind immediately narrows, as if looking at life through a small tube. Science calls this tunnel perception, perceiving through a tunnel, not because we are weak, but because the body tries to help us survive. In prehistoric times, when facing danger, the ability to narrow attention helped our ancestors focus all energy on survival. Avoid predators. Run from danger. Find shelter. So today, when we worry about work, relationships, the future, or loneliness, the brain still reacts as if facing a tiger. It shrinks the world down, keeping only what it deems most important. Thus, we only see problems, not solutions. We hear noise, not the voice of a loved one. We feel difficulty, not love. We remember mistakes, forget achievements. We see darkness, not the star above our head. The world does not go black. The mind is trying to protect us by narrowing. And the miracle is, when anxiety passes, light opens, and the world is wide again, like the first morning of a beautiful day. We don't see the world as it is. We see the world as we feel. Every emotion is a kind of light. Joy stains things golden. Calm stains things blue. Sadness stains things gray. Anger stains things red. Anxiety draws all colors into a dark tunnel. No emotion is right or wrong. They are simply colors passing through. From the day we are born, the brain is made to feel first, then understand. The world in front of us is only a reflection of the inner world. After guiding us through these emotional poles, the narrator invites us to go deeper into the journey. Music and memory. Some musical phrases, half a second long, can pull us back to a distant afternoon. A room, a face, a hand, a bittersweet sadness, a nameless joy. Why? Because music enters the brain, not by logic, but by an emotional shortcut. Sound touches the amygdala, where emotion is stored, the hippocampus, where long-term memory is held, motor areas that make the body move to rhythm, the imagination areas that let us see the past. Music is not only heard, it is felt, and because memory and emotion sit side by side in the brain, music becomes a golden key that opens both doors at once. A childhood song can bring back carefree times. A sad melody can make you remember someone who's gone. A gentle tune can make you feel loved, even when the room is empty. Music cannot change the past, but it can take us back to where the past remains whole. If music is the silver key, then scent is the golden key, even stronger, softer, more mysterious. Memory tied to scent is intense, because the olfactory system goes straight to the limbic system, bypassing the filter of reason. When we smell the sea, flowers, rain, old books, a loved one's hair, memories thought asleep suddenly open their eyes. Scent is not only in the air, it is in memory, in longing, in the stories we thought we had forgotten. A scent can make us remember a place we loved, a hand we once held, or an earlier version of ourselves, younger, more fragile, and beautiful in a way we didn't see at the time. Scent opens memory, not to make us sad, but to remind us that what we have been through still belongs to us. Every moment is stored in a language we cannot hear, but always feel. Time does not hold memory. Emotion holds memory. We remember an afternoon, not because of sunlight, but because of the feeling it brought. We remember a person, not because of their face, but because of how they made us feel. We remember a moment, not because it was important, but because it touched some chord in the soul. So sound and scent become two secret paths that bring us back to ourselves. Emotion is not something that blurs perception. It is perception. We look with the heart before we look with the eyes. We understand by feeling before understanding by reason. And we live by what moves us more than by what we know. Emotions widen or narrow the world, not to confuse us, but to protect us and remind us that we are alive, that we love, that we remember, that we are becoming the fullest version of ourselves. Music and scent do more than evoke memory. They return us to our true selves, peaceful, soft, deep, and resonant. And when all of that gently settles, the narrator opens the next door of dreamy science. The science of the invisible in the mind, feelings, intuition, synchrony, and those things we cannot name, but feel with our whole body. Now, we will step deeper into psychology, where intuition, connection, and the subtle movements of the soul are explained by science, yet remain as beautiful as a poem. And a hush like an evening blanket, where the listener can feel their breath merge with the distant beat. As that stillness spreads through space, the voice gently opens a new door in the night's journey. Now, we will go further, beyond emotion and memory, into the place where consciousness and dreaming merge. This is not where logic rules, nor where time has power, but a strange world everyone has visited, yet few remember clearly. The realm of lucid dreams. In life, few experiences are as both familiar and foreign as lucid dreaming. It is the moment while asleep you suddenly realize, I am dreaming. With just that sentence, the night world lights up. You are no longer swept along by chaotic dreams, but become the weaver of the dream, the creator of the sky, the changer of wind, the author rewriting the story unfolding around you. You can fly, you can swim through the sky, like swimming underwater. You can summon a door to any place, a childhood forest, a room where you once loved, or a planet not in our solar system. No reason needed, no physics, no time. In a lucid dream, consciousness is the painter, and the world is an endless blank canvas. The wonderful thing is, lucid dreaming is not magic. It is science of layers of consciousness touching each other. When we lucid dream, the brain enters a rare state. REM sleep, rapid eye movement sleep. But there is a difference. The prefrontal cortex, the area controlling awareness and logic, is not completely turned off, as in ordinary dreams. It lights up softly, like a faint candle. With that candlelight, we recognize we are dreaming, but the rest of the brain, the imagery, memory, emotion regions, still operate strongly like music, weaving the world. The result is, we are awake inside a sleeping body, half awake, half dreaming, half in control, half letting go. That intersection zone is the doorway to lucid dream. That intersection zone is where science meets what humans once thought was magic. In a lucid dream, we do things the physical body cannot do. But the greatest wonder is not flying, not transforming, not rewriting the story. It is this feeling. Nothing is limited. It is a rare moment when we feel something we seldom feel in waking life. Absolute freedom. Freedom not only in action, but in emotion, in imagination, in self. Lucid dreaming tells us, inside each person is a soft universe, vaster than what the eyes can see. We do not live in just one world. We live in many worlds. One of them is built entirely by consciousness. In the dream world, there is no gravity, no physics, no time to pin us to the ground. We leave the ground, not because we have wings, but because nothing pulls us down. Science calls this internal model dissolution, when the brain stops imposing the rules of the waking world onto the dream world. So we fly, we float, we spin through the sky like water. We pass through walls like passing through thought. In lucid dream, we are bound by nothing but our own imagination. Science explains the mechanism, but the feeling remains as beautiful as magic. Lucid dreaming also offers another gift. In dreams, The body carries no real pain. We can run without exhaustion, touch memories without pain, meet someone who is gone without breaking, say what we dared not say while awake, embrace someone who exists only in memory, heal what we have not faced yet. The mind creates a space where time does not hurt us, a therapy chamber run by the brain itself, a room where emotions are laid down softly like clouds. In a life full of edges, lucid dream is where the inner self is placed into a frictionless environment. Science says nearly 55% of people have had a lucid dream at least once. That means more than half the world has been awake inside a dream. But most forget. Dream memory can vanish like mist the moment we open our eyes. But that does not make the dream any less real. It simply lives on a different level of consciousness, a softer layer, where memory does not need sharpness to still hold value. Lucid dream does not need to be remembered to matter. It is like a night song, heard once, enough to change the soul in gentle, lasting ways. The voice now slows, stretching each word as if wanting the listener to drift into that between state of dream and wakefulness, a fragile land where consciousness is like a boat on water, half sunk, half afloat. In that intersection, science does not lose power. It becomes gentle, and magic does not turn into mystery. It becomes very human. Lucid dream tells us this. We are not only beings living in the real world, we are creators of another world each night. Even if we do not remember, each dream is a painting, a self-narrative, a way the mind speaks to itself, a mirror reflecting what we cannot say when awake. Lucid dreaming is the most beautiful version of that communication, where we can face, touch, and rewrite what is happening inside us. Perhaps that is why ancient cultures saw dreams as spiritual doorways, not to escape life, but to return to oneself. Lucid dreaming is only a small part of the mind. Deeper regions, quieter currents, invisible signals the brain sends each night, that is where we will go next. Now, let me lead you one layer deeper, into the world of the unconscious, where symbols, imagery, and ancient whispers shape all we feel, think, and dream, where the mind contradicts itself, and in those contradictions reveals its quiet magic. After guiding us through lucid dream worlds, where we can fly in skies of our own making, if lucid dream proves we can create worlds while sleeping, then the paradoxes of perception show that we also create the world while awake. The brain, a wondrous machine with billions of connections, does not act linearly. It twists, loops, tells its own stories, edits itself. It is narrator and audience to itself. And between those layers of waves, the narrator leads us into the strangest depths of psychology, where opposites are both true and what is true can also contradict. The first paradox is tenderly beautiful. In the modern world, we are praised for multitasking, for doing many things at once, for talking and scrolling while walking, for opening 10 tabs in our heads and hoping we're fine. But the truth is the opposite. Research shows multitasking does not make us more efficient. It weakens memory, shattering focus, like sand in the wind. Each time we switch from one task to another, the brain pays a tiny price, so small we don't feel it, but accumulated, that price drains attention. Multitasking makes us feel busy, but the busyness is an illusion. As if we keep pressing the water but never swim farther. Then the narrator smiles in his voice, offering a gentle counterpoint. but simply pick up a pen. The brain remembers more deeply than typing. Writing by hand is slower, but that slowness activates language, motor, visual, and emotional areas. The hand records the word. The brain records the meaning. The heart records the experience. That is the first paradox of perception. The less we do, the more we remember. The slower we are, the deeper we go. The more we single task, the wiser we become. We often think a smile is the result of happiness, but sometimes a smile is the cause. Science calls this facial feedback. When we curve our lips, the brain thinks we are truly happy. It releases dopamine, then serotonin, then oxytocin, little sunbeams in the body, and we become truly joyful. A small thing like a fake smile is enough to soothe the vagus nerve, regulate the heartbeat, and soften the edges of sadness. Thus, the paradox opens like a gust of wind. We smile because we are happy, and we are happy because we smile. The body does not know cause from effect. It only knows that a smile is a common language between heart and brain. Memory is not stored like a video. It is a story patched together each time we retell it to ourselves. We think we remember exactly, but every recall is a rewriting of the memory, a slight edit, a color added, a corner smoothed. Memories improve when we need hope. They fade when we need to move on. They sharpen when we need to learn. They soften when we need to heal. Memory does not deceive us. The mind knows what we need to live. Science calls this reconsolidation, the restoring of memory. We do not remember to keep things. We remember to adapt, to interpret, to understand ourselves better. This paradox is like a poem. Memory does not exist to keep the past. Memory exists to keep us. We fear forgetting, but forgetting is how the brain protects us. If we remembered everything, every face we met, every word we read, every pain we endured, every small restraint, we could not survive. Forgetting is the brain's way of cleaning house, making room, keeping what matters, packing up what is old, wiping sorrow into dust. It's not that the brain is weak. The brain is doing what it does best, helping us continue to be a functioning version of ourselves. When humans lose the ability to forget, hyperthymesia, they are not happier. They're exhausted. Forgetting, it turns out, is a quiet kind of healing. The fifth paradox drifts like mist across a lake. Time does not flow evenly. Time flows with emotion. When we are happy, an afternoon compresses. An hour feels like 10 minutes. A day, like a beautiful breath. When we are afraid, a second stretches like a lifetime. An hour becomes a journey. A dark moment feels interminable. Science calls this emotion-dependent time dilation. A faster or slower heart affects how the brain counts beats of time, because biological time is not the same as physical time, and so we live in two universes at once, the universe of physics and the universe of emotion. In the emotional universe, time is soft. It stretches, it contracts, and always changes with the heart. We do not understand our brain yet. It is an ocean where we have only seen the surface waves. Beneath those waves are stories, unnamed memories, strange currents of feeling, dreams, rewriting us. The brain is not perfect. It contradicts. It is strange. Sometimes it acts opposite to what we think. But those contradictions make us human. We can smile to become joyful. We can forget to feel lighter. We can remember to stay alive. We can dream to be free. We can be lucid in our dreams. We can watch time change with the heart. Paradox is not nonsense. Paradox is the language of the mind. And perhaps we don't need to understand the whole ocean. Just be quiet enough to hear the waves. The brain is an ocean, but that ocean is not isolated. It touches the oceans of others by waves we cannot see. And so, the listener is led into a new chapter where invisible streams of energy flow between people, where we influence each other without touch, without words, just by being, not by magic, not by mysticism, but by biology. When someone is stressed, their body releases chemosignals, microscopic molecules escaping through sweat, breath, skin. Those tiny signals drift in the air, like the smell of rain before the storm, or the instinct that the weather is changing. When we inhale them even unconsciously, the brain registers. Heart rate changes. The amygdala lights up. Muscles tense slightly. We feel stressed before we understand why. Just hearing a worried voice, a wavering gaze, a rapid breath, unavoiding look, all are enough for our brain to trigger ancient survival instincts. We are not alone in emotion. We co-feel. Between people, stress crosses without words. It is an underground current, connecting neural oceans. If stress spreads, kindness spreads too, only warmer and more beautiful. The human body does not only recognize fear, it recognizes hope. A sincere smile does more than relax the face. It sends signals through the eyelids, through breath, through subtle changes in CO2 in the air. The other person's brain reads all of it. No learning required, no effort needed. It is an evolutionary legacy, a small act of kindness, almost invisible, yielding way, opening a door, saying thank you, slowing down to listen. A gentle touch on someone's trembling hand, looking at someone without judgment, is enough to reduce cortisol, increase oxytocin, activate the vagus nerve, the nerve of calm, not just in us, but in those standing near us. Kindness spreads, like ripples when you drop a pebble into a lake. No noise, no grandeur, but lasting. And so the narrator says, we heal one another, even when we don't know we are doing so. This is the brain area that lights up when we observe someone doing, feeling, or experiencing something. Mirror neurons make us cringe when someone is hurt, smile when someone smiles. I feel moved when someone cries, fear when someone panics, calm when someone breathes slowly. Mirror neurons are why we feel others' emotions without words. It is the ancient wordless language of humankind, the language that helped ancestors survive, stand shoulder to shoulder, use emotion to understand each other. Before language existed, a 4-month-old baby already imitates the mother's expression. Nobody taught it, nobody told them. It is the voice of genes, of connection, of empathy. The narrator speaks slowly, as if cradling that truth. We don't only look at others, we feel others, like 2 candles burning close that make the heart glow twice as bright. They are biology, neural signals, chemicals, breath, gaze, a tremor in the voice's timbre, the way muscles tighten in a moment of sorrow, a smile loosening neural networks, all real, all creating effects. The human body is the most sophisticated instrument in the world, detecting the smallest changes in attitude, heart rate, breath, body temperature. So we say, someone has good energy, or heavy energy. Not out of sentiment, but because our body reads their biophysical signals. We are emotional instruments. If one person shifts frequency, all will resonate. We were born to connect. It is an instinct stronger than mere survival. In the deep forest, our ancestors survived, not by running fastest, not by being stronger than predators, not by having weapons, but by connection, by reading each other's emotions in the dark, by knowing who was afraid, hungry, wounded, by knowing when to run, when to stand and hold hands. Our bodies, from mirror neurons to hormones, from heart to breath, are designed to feel others. We are programmed to empathize. That does not make us weak. It makes us survive. Not isolation, but connection helped humanity pass through millions of years of evolution. We are walking lanterns, and our light always shines on others, even when we are silent. The things we call intuition are often the body reading signals from others. We know someone is sad before they say it. We know a room someone has been crying in. We feel uneasy without knowing why. We sense someone is warm or cold. We trust someone on first meeting. We avoid someone though they haven't done anything wrong. None of this is irrational. Our body reads hormonal scents. It reads muscle tension. It reads breathing patterns. It reads timbre in the voice. It sends signals to the brain in thousandths of a second. And the brain calls that feeling, intuition, a hunch, someone's energy. Nothing supernatural, only gentle science. We influence each other without touching, without speaking, without long looks, because we are oceans touching by waves. These invisible streams of energy, scent, sound, heartbeats, subtle expressions, are the music humans use to understand each other since before speech. Without them, we would be lost. With them, we belong to each other. We once thought stress, pressure, and failure were boulders blocking our path. But when we change perspective, those boulders become stepping stones. Neuroscience calls this reframing, changing the frame of perception, a subtle transformation the brain can do. When we are calm enough to look differently, a heartbreak becomes a lesson about limits and personal strength. A mistake becomes data for doing better next time. A stumble becomes a new viewpoint that helps us see the world broader, deeper. A failure becomes a springboard if we change its meaning. Stress doesn't disappear, but it can change form from danger to opportunity. When we look at an experience with gentler light, the amygdala quiets, cortisol falls, the prefrontal cortex decision-making region grows brighter. A small change in perspective can change the whole biological response, like shifting from seeing a shadow to seeing the actual shape of the person standing in the light. In science, this transformation is called stress inoculation, mental vaccination. When we have overcome difficulties before, the brain knows we can face them. Next time, instead of panic, the brain remembers, I survived before. I can survive again. Stress is no longer a monster that threatens, but a silent trainer. Fast heartbeat a warning, not danger. Restlessness, the body preparing, not failure. Sweat drops, the immune system accelerating. The body is not against you. It is helping you become stronger. And when we accept that, pressure becomes practice, not a crack in the soul. The whole inner universe rearranges its invisible gravity. We are not pulled down. We begin to rise. When we fail, the brain makes new connections, analyzes causes, repairs old neural pathways, trie différentes routes, then remembers more deeply many times over. Failure is data, information, a mental map helping us choose the way. Without it, we would repeat old mistakes in new forms. Failure does not stop us moving forward. Failure teaches us how to move forward. The step back today can be the run-up for tomorrow. And when we look back, we see that all the losses seemingly taken from us have brought us to a calmer, deeper, more resilient version of ourselves. After speaking about personal strength, the narrator widens the view as if pulling a curtain to reveal the whole sky. Each thought does not stand alone. It reflects onto the thoughts of others. Collective consciousness, from small groups to communities, is what has carried humanity through plagues, wars, famine, natural disasters, and also the most glorious moments. When a group looks toward the same goal, brains synchronize, heartbeats fall into a common rhythm, breaths find the same frequency, ideas travel faster than words. That's why a rescue team can do the impossible. Thousands can join to build bridges, put out fires, protect each other. A small community can lift a desperate person. A group of friends can change the world with a simple movement. Collective consciousness also has a dark side. When a community falls into fear, panic, pregiudice, or anger, people can do cruel things they would never do normally. They forget their conscience, forget to think of others, forget to question, forget that emotions spread, not only kindness. Collective consciousness is a powerful current. If it flows rightly, it raises the boat. If it goes astray, it drowns a whole city. We don't just live together, we think together. When we are near someone, for long, our brains synchronize gamma waves. Speech flows more easily. We understand each other better. Responses align naturally. This is the foundation of language, culture, morality, compassion, tradition, belief, social cooperation. No one is just a separate brain. We are a note in a grand symphony, a drop in a river, a ray in humanity's aurora. Personal intelligence is a candle. Collective consciousness is the starry sky. We are both small and immensely important. After these shared streams of awareness, we move to a deeper place, where the unconscious speaks in symbols, in dreaming, in the soul's whispers. Oh, the most beautiful thing about the human mind is that it knows how to heal itself, like a forest regenerating after a fire, like the sea returning calm after a storm. Meditation is not sitting still. It is how we return to the mind, the things it lost in the hurry of daily life: attention, calm, and presence. Neuroscience has shown just a few minutes of slowing down each day can thicken the prefrontal cortex, increasing focus, shrink the amygdala, reducing fear responses, help hippocampal areas recover, improving memory, increase alpha waves, creating a deep sense of peace. The miracle is, the brain changes shape, not by medicine, not by pressure, but by conscious silence. When we breathe slowly, the brain notices. When we listen within, the body relaxes. When we let thoughts pass like clouds, the mind becomes clear like the sky after rain. Meditation doesn't make life simpler, but it makes the person facing life stronger, steadier, more insightful, like a lake that can reflect the sky only when it stops being choppy. And sometimes, healing doesn't need silence. It needs words. The narrator speaks of writing emotions down on paper, not as a technique, but as an ancient ritual. When an emotion stays in the head, it is fog. When written down, it takes shape. And what has shape no longer holds secret power over us. Science calls this emotional labeling. When we name an emotion, the brain immediately reduces amygdala activity, increases activity in reasoning areas, brings emotion into a controllable state. Writing is how we tell the mind, I see you. You no longer have to scream to get my attention. And whatever is seen begins to heal. Words, awkward or unmetered, not beautiful, are keys to unlock rooms we once locked, thinking we could not bear. The narrator speaks slowly, like a drop falling into an old well. When emotion is written down, it leaves the body. When pain has a story, it is no longer a shadow. The brain is not hard like stone. It is soft like soil after rain. It is always ready to change form when we change how we live. This is the most important thing about healing. We are not stuck in the current version of ourselves. The brain creates new neural pathways. Whenever we think differently, act differently, love more, forgive, stop repeating old errors, treat ourselves kindly. When we nudge the mind with gentler thoughts, I am okay, I am learning, I am not perfect, the brain records it, consolidates, turns it into habit. Old trails fade, new roads appear underfoot. No one wakes up one morning and heals everything. Healing comes from a deep breath, a journal page, a slow walk, a cup of tea drunk without haste, a full night's sleep, a single honest sentence to oneself, a friend who listens, a moment of kindness toward oneself. Just these small things repeated, the brain will change structure, like roots slowly digging into the soil. Change is not a loud explosion, it is a whisper. We are affected by others. We absorb fear, but we also absorb calm. And so, meditation helps us not be swept away by chaotic external energy. Writing helps separate true emotion from the noise of the crowd. Small changes help us stand firm amid collective consciousness. Healing is not only for the individual. When we change, we create a new wave, spreading outward, affecting loved ones, those nearby, those we never met. We become a point of light. We become a source of warmth. We become a calm breath in a room full of anxiety. Healing is not a destination. It is movement. It is the water silently eroding rock, the gentle wind calming a storm. You don't have to change your life tonight. You only need to rest. The brain will do the rest. Sleep well and heal gently. There is one thing science and the soul agree on. A meaningful life is longer, lighter, and warmer. The human body does not live only on food and water. It lives on purpose. Longevity studies from Japan, Northern Europe, and South America all point to one shared thing. People with a clear life purpose, however small, however simple, tend to live longer. Not because they are stronger, not because they are luckier, but because their bodies understand that each morning there is something waiting for them. Purpose does reduce cortisol, increase dopamine, improve heart health, strengthen the immune system, slow cellular aging rates. But the narrator does not explain this in dry language. He speaks softly. Our bodies hear the whispers of the soul. If the soul has a reason to continue, the body will continue. Purpose need not be grand. It need not be a dream to change the world. Sometimes it is just tending a plant, finishing a book, keeping a promise to a friend, caring for family, being kind to someone, seeking peace each day, or simply becoming a slightly better version of yourself. These things are small, but they keep us grounded. They hold us when life slips. They make us live longer and live deeper. No pharmacy sells them, no label, no side effects, yet they are potent enough to change biology in the body. Smile the bridge between people. A genuine smile lowers heart rate, activates reward areas in the brain, increases oxytocin, reduces loneliness. Science calls that the positive emotion contagion effect. The narrator calls it a flower blooming on the face. Touch, the ancient language of safety. A short hug, a slow handhold, a gentle squeeze on the shoulder, all send signals to the brain that you are not alone. And touch does reduce pain, stabilize heart rate, slow breathing, activate the vagus nerve, the nerve of calm. It is the language older than writing. Gratitude, the instrument that warms the spirit. Gratitude does not change circumstances, but it changes how the mind looks at them. A person who practices gratitude daily sleeps deeper, feels less stressed, has a stronger immune system, recovers faster from illness. Gratitude doesn't change life. It changes the heart, and the heart changes life. Healing is not removing pain. That sentence drops like the first raindrop of the season. No noise, no glare, but it soaks deep. Healing is understanding it. The voice is very slow now, each word placed by hand on the ground. Understand that pain does not destroy you. It is teaching you. It shows you what you have not yet seen. Pain is the teacher. Stress is the map. Failure is the data. Getting lost is the chance to find yourself again. We are still alive, still learning, still loving this world, even if only with a quiet breath. No need to be strong. No need to be resilient. Just be present. We have passed through invisible streams of energy, the silent connections between people. And now, you see, those connections not only affect emotion, they affect how we heal. You do not need to remember all these truths. They are not for memorizing. They are for feeling. Because this whole journey is not a lecture. It is a ritual, a mind bath, a journey taking the body from a state of alertness to a state of safety, where sleep begins to open its door. Sleep science calls this moment sleep onset, when consciousness retreats, musculus soften, heart rate slows, and the brain steps into the borderland between wake and dream. The narrator seems to understand this, so he lets his words carry the rhythm of breath. You don't have to try, no need to focus. Just let everything drift like water. Each word, each cadence, each pause is placed to soothe the nervous system, like dropping stones into a lake. How your chest softens, how your breath finds its slow rhythm again. When we pay attention to the body, the brain itself activates the parasympathetic system, the rest nervous system. Heart rate slows, blood vessels dilate. Muscles send safe signals back to the brain. The narrator repeats very simple lines, but rich in therapeutic quality. You are safe. You are supported. There is nothing to do, no place to go, no one waiting for you. Outside sleep, the words make consciousness soften like a thread. Loosening, loosening, drifting down. Sleep is not the end of the day. It is reconciliation between you and yourself, between you and the world, between mind and the universe. End. Phrases like silk flying in the night. You do not need to control. You do not need to understand everything. The universe keeps turning, even when you do not watch. The earth still breathes while you sleep, and you are part of that breath. When the listener imagines themselves as part of a larger breath, the brain reduces activity in the default mode network, the network of worry and analysis. The body moves closer to sleep. You have done enough. Tonight, let the world spin itself. Let your body be at ease. You do not need to hold on anymore. The music at this moment is thin as mist, but deep as echoes in an ancient cave. The narrator begins to speak even more slowly. Just close your eyes and let sleep carry you away. The sentence opens a beautiful image. Sleep is not collapse, but a stream that comes, lifts us, and carries us into a place without gravity. Thank you for dreaming with us. May you sleep deeply and peacefully.